Welcome back to Above and Beyond with Lucy. I'm Lucy, and for 15 years I had the privilege of serving passengers at 35,000 feet as a flight attendant. Now I'm here on the ground, pulling back the curtain and sharing the inside information that airlines simply do not volunteer to you. And today's topic is one I feel urgently about. Because right now, in 2026, Americans are getting denied boarding at rates I have never seen before in my 15 years of working this industry. Not just bumped for overbooking, I mean completely denied. Sent home. Trip ruined. And the most heartbreaking part? Most of it was entirely preventable. You might be thinking, Lucy, I fly all the time, I know what I'm doing. And I believe you, I do. But here's what I need you to understand. The rules changed. Multiple rules changed, quietly, without much fanfare, and the airlines are not sending you a newsletter about it. They're counting on you not knowing. I have stood at that boarding door. I have watched passengers, good, prepared, well-meaning travelers, get pulled aside, get flagged, get denied. And I have seen the look on their faces, the confusion, the panic, "But I have a ticket!" And yes, you can have a ticket and still not get on that plane. That is the reality of flying in 2026. In my 15 years, I worked for two major carriers. I've seen policy shifts, security overhauls, new federal mandates. And I'll tell you something from the galley. We talk about these passengers. Not unkindly, but we notice who's prepared and who isn't. And I want you to be the prepared one every single time. This isn't just theory. This is real-world knowledge from someone who has personally handed you that extra blanket, who has quietly flagged a gate agent to help a passenger who didn't even know they needed help. I am on your side. I have always been on your side. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 12 reasons Americans are getting denied boarding right now, and exactly what you need to do to make sure it never happens to you. We're talking documentation traps, booking fine print, gate timing changes, and a few new developments that I promise most travelers have no idea exist yet. And before we dive in, if you want more practical, no-nonsense travel secrets straight from someone who's lived this career, please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button right now. Every week I'm here sharing what the airlines aren't telling you, and I don't want you to miss a single video. And tell me in the comments, have you ever been denied boarding or almost denied boarding? What happened? I read every single comment, and your stories help me make videos that actually serve you. All right, let's get into it. 12 reasons people are getting turned away at the gate in 2026, and how to make sure you are never one of them. Let's start with the one that's catching the most people completely off guard. Part 1. Documentation and ID issues. Number 1. The real ID deadline is here, and most people aren't ready. Here is something that has been coming for years, and yet I still see travelers getting blindsided by it every single week. The federal Real ID enforcement is fully in effect. That means your standard state-issued driver's license, the one you've been using your entire life, may no longer be accepted at airport security for domestic flights. Here's what most people don't realize. Not every state license automatically qualifies as Real ID compliant. A compliant license has a star in the upper corner, usually gold or black. If your license does not have that star, you cannot use it to board a domestic flight, period. The TSA agent will turn you away before you even get to the gate. What do? First, right now, today, look at your driver's license. Find that star. If it's not there, you have two options. Go to your local DMV and upgrade to a Real ID compliant license, or use your US passport instead. A passport always works. Always. I once had a lovely woman, I'll call her Mrs. Patricia, who flew the same route every year to visit her grandchildren. She had the same license she'd had for 6 years. No star. She was turned away at security. She missed her flight. She missed her granddaughter's birthday. I cannot tell you how many times I thought about her afterward. That did not have to happen. Check your license today. Don't wait until you're at the airport. It is a 2-second check that could save your entire trip. Number 2. Passport problems that will stop you cold. Now, for my international travelers, and I know many of you love a good cruise departure or a trip abroad, Your passport is your lifeline. But here's what airlines won't tell you up front. Having a valid passport is not always enough. Many countries require that your passport be valid for at least 6 months beyond your travel dates. Not just valid on the day you fly, 6 months beyond. So if your passport expires in 4 months and you're flying to Europe, some airlines will deny you boarding right at the check-in counter. Not at customs. Before you even reach the gate. And here's the sneaky part. The airline's website will say, "Valid passport required." It will not say, "6 months validity required." That information is buried in the fine print, in the destination country's entry requirements. And airlines will absolutely deny you and consider it your responsibility to have known. Say exactly this when you book any international trip. "Can you confirm the passport validity requirements for my destination country?" Ask it of your travel agent, ask it of the airline, and then go directly to the U.S. State Department website, travel.state.gov, and verify it yourself. Take nothing for granted. Renew your passport the moment it has less than 12 months remaining. That is my personal rule, and I am giving it to you. 12 months. Renew it. Number 3. The name mismatch trap. Even one letter can ground you. This one breaks my heart because it is so avoidable, and yet I have personally witnessed it cause full denials at the gate. Your ticket must match your government-issued ID exactly. Not approximately, not close enough. Exactly. Middle names, suffixes like junior or senior, hyphenated last names, these are the most common culprits. Maybe you booked under Robert Smith, but your license says Robert James Smith Jr. Maybe your married name is hyphenated, but you booked under your maiden name. In the current security environment, these discrepancies are flagged. And when they're flagged at the gate, there is very little a gate agent can do in the 3 minutes before the door closes. The fix is simple, but it must happen at booking, not at the airport. When you enter your name on any airline reservation, open your passport or your real ID license and type your name exactly as it appears, character for character. If your ID says Mary Jo, your ticket says Mary Jo. Not Mary Jo, not Mary Jo. If you've already booked and you notice a mismatch, call the airline immediately. Most carriers will correct a minor name error once, often for free if you catch it early. Say exactly this. "I need to request a name correction on my reservation. The name on my ticket does not exactly match my government-issued ID." Do it now. Don't wait until you're at the airport hoping nobody notices. They will notice. Part 2. Booking and ticketing mistakes. Number 4. Basic economy tickets, and the rules you agreed to but didn't read. I love that flying has become more affordable. I genuinely do. But I need to have an honest conversation with you about basic economy fares, because the savings come with restrictions that are getting people denied or stranded in 2026 more than ever before. When you buy a basic economy ticket on airlines like United, Delta, or American, you are agreeing to a specific set of conditions that are very different from a standard economy ticket. No seat selection, no changes, no refunds, and in many cases, no carry-on bag beyond a personal item. If you show up at the gate with a rolling carry-on and a basic economy ticket on certain carriers, they will charge you a gate fee that can run $50 to $100. And if you can't pay it or refuse it, you can be denied boarding. Most passengers click through the booking process without reading those conditions. I understand. The fine print is dense and the confirm purchase button is right there. But airlines consider that acceptance of terms, and they will enforce it. Before you book any ticket, look for the fare class. If it says basic, light, or saver, pause and read the baggage rules. If you're a senior traveler who likes to pack comfortably, a standard economy fare with one carry-on included will almost always save you stress and often money in the long run. Smart passengers know their fare class before they get to the airport. Be a smart passenger. Number 5. Overbooking. It's still happening, and here's how they choose who gets bumped. Here is a crew secret that passengers rarely understand fully. Airlines still legally overbook flights. They sell more seats than exist on the plane, banking on a statistical percentage of no-shows. And when everyone shows up, someone gets bumped. You might think it's random. It is absolutely not random. Airlines use an algorithm and it considers several factors: your fare class, your frequent flyer status, when you checked in, and whether you checked in online or at the counter. The passengers who check in last, paid the lowest fare, and have no loyalty status are at the top of the bump list, every single time. Here is how you protect yourself. Check in online exactly 24 hours before your flight. Set an alarm on your phone for this. The moment check-in opens, you check in. This moves you toward the bottom of the bump priority list. And if you are ever approached at the gate and asked to voluntarily give up your seat, know this: you do not have to say yes, but if you do, you have the right to negotiate. Ask for the highest travel voucher they're offering, get it in writing, and get a confirmed, not standby, seat on the next flight. You have rights in this situation. Don't let the urgency of the moment pressure you into accepting less than you deserve. Number 6. The checked-in versus confirmed confusion. Nobody explains. This one is subtle and it trips up even experienced travelers. There is a difference between having a confirmed reservation and being checked in. And there is a difference between being checked in and having your boarding pass validated at the gate. In 2026, several airlines have tightened their gate cutoff procedures. If you are checked in but you have not physically presented at the gate by the posted cutoff time, which can be 15 to 20 minutes before departure depending on the airline and airport, your seat can be released. Even if you're standing in the terminal, even if your boarding pass is in your hand. I once watched a kind gentleman, I'll call him Mr. Henderson, arrive at his gate at what he thought was plenty of time. He had checked in online, had his boarding pass on his phone, and was completely calm. But the gate cutoff for that particular airline was 20 minutes, and he arrived at minute 18. The agent had already begun releasing held seats. He got on, barely. But I watched the color drain from his face when that agent looked at him and said, "Sir, we almost had to release your seat." Know your airline's gate cutoff time before you travel. It is listed in the fine print of your ticket and on the airline's website. For international flights, that cutoff can be as much as 30 to 45 minutes. Give yourself more time than you think you need, always. Part 3. At the gate. Number 7. Gate arrival times have changed, and airlines are enforcing them strictly. Building on what I just shared, this deserves its own conversation because the enforcement has genuinely tightened in 2026. Post-pandemic operational changes, combined with new DOT efficiency reporting requirements, have given airlines a financial incentive to push back on time. And that means gate agents are closing doors earlier and with less flexibility than they used to. The old rule of thumb, arrive at the gate 10 minutes before departure, is no longer safe. It is not safe on busy domestic routes, it is not safe at large hub airports, and it is especially not safe if you have any mobility considerations that might slow your boarding process. My personal recommendation, after 15 years of watching this unfold, arrive at your gate at least 45 minutes before departure. I know that sounds like a lot. I know you'd rather sit at the restaurant or browse the shops. But 45 minutes at the gate means you have time for a gate change, a delayed boarding announcement, a boarding pass issue, a question for the agent, any of the 100 small things that can go sideways in an airport. And if you are a traveler who uses a wheelchair, a walker, or needs pre-boarding assistance, please request pre-boarding. You are entitled to it. It is free. Say exactly this to the gate agent. "I would like to request pre-boarding assistance, please." That's all. They will take care of you. But you need to be there early enough to ask. Number 8. TSA flags nobody talks about. Let me tell you something from the inside that most passengers have never heard. The TSA maintains a watch list and a secondary screening designation system that goes beyond what most people think of as TSA pre-check or standard screening. And certain patterns of travel behavior can trigger additional scrutiny that, while it rarely results in a full denial, absolutely can cause you to miss your flight if you're not prepared for it. Buying a one-way ticket with cash at the last minute, traveling to certain international destinations on a newly issued passport, having a name similar to someone on a watch list, these are all things that can generate what's called a secondary security screening selection, or SSSS on your boarding pass. You'll see it printed right there, 4 S's. If you see SSSS on your boarding pass, do not panic. But do understand that your screening will take significantly longer. In my experience, SSSS passengers need to budget an additional 30 to 45 minutes at security. If you are cutting it close to your gate time, that extra time could mean a missed flight. If you receive SSSS repeatedly and believe it's an error, you can apply for DHS TRIP. That stands for Traveler Redress Inquiry Program. It is a free federal program that allows you to address and resolve watchlist mismatches. The website is trip.dhs.gov. Write that down. It has helped many travelers I know get this resolved permanently. Number 9. Medical and mobility documentation. What you now need in writing. My seniors, my mature travelers, I want to speak directly to you right now because this one affects your community disproportionately, and I feel strongly that you need to hear it. If you travel with medical equipment, CPAP machines, portable oxygen concentrators, insulin and syringes, pacemakers, prosthetics, or if you require mobility assistance, the documentation requirements have become more formalized in 2026. Airlines have updated their policies following new FAA guidance, and verbal notice at the gate is no longer sufficient for certain medical accommodations. Specifically, if you require supplemental oxygen on board, you now need written medical clearance from your physician, submitted to the airline at least 48 to 72 hours before your flight, depending on the carrier. Showing up with your oxygen equipment and no documentation can result in you being denied boarding. This is not the crew being unkind. This is a federal safety requirement, and our hands are tied. For CPAP machines and other equipment, you need a letter from your doctor stating the medical necessity, because airlines must allow approved medical devices, but they need documentation to classify them correctly. This also protects you at security. Call your airline at least 1 week before travel. Say exactly this: I travel with medical equipment and I want to confirm what documentation I need to submit in advance for my flight. Get the answer in writing, via email confirmation if possible. Do not rely on a phone agent's verbal assurance. Get it in writing. My friends, we are right in the middle of this, and I hope you are taking notes. If you are finding this helpful, if this is the kind of insider knowledge you wish someone had told you years ago, please hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss a video. I put out new travel insider content every week, and every video is made with you in mind. Now let's keep going because the next few are the ones most people have absolutely no idea about. Part 4. The sneaky new stuff. Number 10. Airline app check-in failures that look like your fault. Technology is wonderful until it isn't. And in 2026, airlines have pushed almost all check-in processes to their apps. And that creates a very specific problem that I have seen cause boarding denials that are 100% the airline's fault, but get blamed on the passenger. Here is what happens. You open the airline app to check in. The app glitches, freezes, or partially completes the process. You receive what looks like a confirmation. You arrive at the airport assuming everything is fine, but in the system, your check-in was never fully processed. Your boarding pass is technically invalid, and at the gate, when they scan it, it flags. This is happening more than airlines will admit, particularly with older phone models and with passengers who have connectivity issues during the check-in process. Here is your protection. After checking in on any airline app, always do 2 things. First, screenshot your boarding pass and save it to your photos, not just in the app, in your photos. Second, check the airline's website on a browser and confirm your check-in status independently. If anything looks off, call the airline immediately or go to the check-in counter early. Most passengers see a loading confirmation and walk away. Smart passengers verify twice. Be a smart passenger. Bonus tip. All right, my wonderful travelers, let's do a quick recap of everything we covered today, because this was a full lesson and you deserve to leave with all of it locked in. We talked about Real ID compliance and making sure your license has that star. We covered passport validity and the 6-month rule that airlines don't advertise. We went through the name-matching trap and why one letter matters. We unpacked basic economy restrictions and what you're agreeing to when you book that lower fare. We covered overbooking, how you get chosen, and how to protect yourself. We talked about the difference between checked in and confirmed at the gate, the tightened gate cutoff times, SSSS screening designations, medical documentation requirements, app check-in failures, internal passenger notations, and your full rights if you are ever denied boarding. That is a lot. Save this video, share it, come back to it before every trip. And before I let you go, here is your bonus pro tip straight from the galley. Always carry a printed copy of your itinerary, your booking confirmation number, and any special service requests you've made with the airline. On paper, in your carry-on. Not just on your phone, on paper. When technology fails, when your phone battery dies, when the app crashes at the worst possible moment, that paper is your evidence, your reference, and your peace of mind. Flight attendants and gate agents respond to passengers who are organized and prepared. A printed confirmation says, "I know what I booked, I know what was confirmed, and I am ready." It takes 2 minutes to print. Do it every time. Remember, my friends, you are the reason we fly. Your safety, your comfort, your dignity as a traveler, these are what matter most. Don't be afraid to speak up, ask questions, and advocate for yourself. The crew is there to help you. The rules exist to protect you. And now you know them. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a boarding denial, an SSSS screening, or a documentation issue at the airport? What happened, and how did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and your experiences help shape the videos I make. This community is here to learn from each other, and your story might be exactly what another traveler needs to hear. If you found this video helpful, and I truly hope you did, please share it with a senior traveler or a family member who flies. Share it with anyone who has a trip coming up in 2026, because this information could genuinely save their trip. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss an insider secret. I am here every week with new content, and every video is built around what you, my wonderful community, tell me you need. In my next video, I'm covering the airline compensation secrets most passengers never claim. Money and benefits you are legally owed that airlines quietly hope you never ask for. Trust me, you do not want to miss that one. Thank you so much for flying with me today. I'm Lucy. You are informed, you are empowered, and you are ready. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Fly safe, my friends.